Many of our young adults are very excited about many aspects of our cultural heritage. However, they will want to have clarity around what is essential in our traditional marriage. Also, they will like us to be honest about the non-essentials so that they can make an informed decision when it comes to planning their weddings and traditional marriages. Hello everyone, my name is Mabel and I'm popularly known on this channel as Auntie Mabel. I have been doing a series of videos on the barriers we are likely to encounter when we are learning a new language or we are trying to learn about our cultural heritage or other aspects of our identity. And today's video is another one by special request for our young adults who really want me to talk about another topic, another interesting topic about our identity, which is on marriage. It's again class is on marriage. But today I'm going to be focusing on our traditional marriage. The part of our traditional marriage that I'm going to be focusing on today in this class is about the historical context of traditional marriage. Our young people want to know the essentials and why they actually have to do them. Then I'm going to talk about some of the outfits that we wear in traditional marriage. Then also I'm going to talk about the cost. What are the essential costs? And what are the non-essential, what are the variable costs of traditional marriage in Nigeria? But before I go into today's video, today's discussion, I'm going to have to give a shout out to a sister, Mary's Lifestyle TV. As you guys can see, you can notice that my hair gear, my hair wrap is different from my usual ones that I have been using throughout this lockdown, which I have popularly named Corona wrap. So, but today I have this wrap. Obviously, it's just synonymous to the fact that I'm talking about marriage today, so I might as well put some of our traditional and our symbol on. Some of our, look at the earrings and the hair wrap. I got them from Mary's Lifestyle TV. And she actually have a video on her channel where she actually demonstrates how you can do the wrap as well. So I saw her video and I liked it and I'd reach out to her and she has got me some wrap. So watch out, you're going to be seeing Auntie Mabel with some more colorful wrap on this channel. And I got all of them from Mary Lifestyle TV. I'm going to put her link in some part of this video and in the comment section. Please go there and check her out and patronize our sister. She does so many other things on her channel on how to do other things. So when you just go there, you won't be disappointed. I've listed the 3 topics I'm going to be talking about. First of all, so the number 1 is the historical context of our traditional marriage. Then 2 is the things you wear, you put on, the dresses and all the stuff you have to do, the beads and all those other things that you need to wear on the traditional marriage, both for the man and the woman. Then the cost. What are the essential costs? Does it have to be as expensive as it is today? Does it have to be as elaborate as it is today? So first of all, let me talk about the cultural and historical context. The traditional marriage is actually a very essential part of marriage in Africa or in Nigeria in particular, and the part I come from in Esan is is legally binding. It's the legal binding, like a legal agreement between the family of the bride and the groom. So when the gentleman that want to marry, the family of the gentleman will have to come to the home of the bride to discuss, obviously introduce themselves and the bride price. So I'm not going to talk too much about things that are not essential. I'm going to focus on the historical context. So basically, the bride price in Esan land is actually very, very small. I've spoken to quite a few people, and I have a brother who is very vast in the cultural context of Esan history. I've spoken to him, and I've also spoken to other elderly gentlemen and women who actually understand the culture a lot more than the rest of us, who actually understand the culture a lot, who have participated in some of in this celebration and ceremonies. So the actual bride price in Esan land is actually a very small token. So it's between, up to date, I think it's still, it varies from community to community, even within the Esan community or family to family. It's still between about 300 to 500 naira in today's time, even in today's cost. So in today's whatever expensive cost of living. So but what that really symbolizes is just that it's a contract between the both families. So it's not really something that you now say, oh, I paid your bride price, or I've bought you, or you now become my property. So and even within that same money, there's a tiny percentage of it is being shared. A part is given to the bride's, maybe the bride's mom, the bride's dad, then the other person in the family or the community. So like I said, it's very from community to community. There's a way this money is being shared. So it's so legal binding to the point that when a marriage ends, which is not what one really expects, occasionally it does happen, as we know, that bride price had to be returned to the groom's family. That is the sign. That is only when it is agreed that a divorce has taken place. So that shows how important it is. But let's go down to the other things that is essential during this traditional marriage. There's usually a list, a simple list that is given. In Esan, there's a simple list that is given to the groom's family when they first come to introduce themselves. And it's just essential things like some tubers of yam, because obviously in Esan, yam was very important in those olden days. So these yams are usually tied like a bundle tied in bundles, and the number of bundles that needs to be provided will be included in the list. Then there is some quantity of palm oil. As you know, things come in jerry cans, these plastic containers in Nigeria. The quantity that will be expected, like maybe they say 2 gallons or 2 liters, or quantity of liters of the palm oil will be given to them, and it will come in a container. Then something like the palm wine will be there. I think some gift for the bride, things like, I don't think that is really being presented on that day. You are expected to buy a couple of wrappers or something like that for the bride. Then probably there would be drinks. They would name how many cartons of drinks or whatever you need to bring. So like the people I spoke to said, even today's cost of living, the Esan list of bride price is not usually more than 60,000 to 100,000 naira. And that is not a lot at all in today's pounds or dollars or euro. So so that is that. So actually, then I will now come to the day of the ceremony. In the olden days, the ceremony, I might as well just talk about the ceremony now to keep it in context. Then on the day of the ceremony, the groom will come with his family members, his parents, his uncles, and close family members and close friends. So it was not something that used to be very elaborate. It used to be very simple. Then they would just come on that evening, on the day, then bring all those things. The girl will come, the young lady that is being married, and the counting on the lap is supposed to be like this symbol of exchanging of rings. In the English culture, it's just something like that to say, oh, we've actually given our daughter to you. We are counting her on your lap, and they count 7 times, and on the 7th time, the groom will now hold the wife. It means officially we have given our daughter to you. So then obviously the father of the bride, they are expected to cook and have drinks and stuff to entertain their guests. So then even in our time, in my time, it was just maybe you have just a one or two canopies outside the front house of the uncle or the father of the bride while this bride price is taking place. It wasn't something that was supposed to be so elaborate that you have, like they do this, you have to kill a cow, especially when you're in Nigeria. If you are in the diaspora, sometimes you have to rent a hall that is worth thousands of pounds or euro or dollars. So that wasn't really how it used to be. Then I will now move on to the things that you wear. I know that in our time, even the bead you do on the hair wasn't as common as it is. But now it is good that those cultural stuff has been resuscitated. But these cultural practice have been done. But we have to be very mindful. I spoke to a friend who is from Benin, which is Edo, that she actually said something like even the shuku or the style of the bead and the packing of the hair, there are some that are actually reserved for the Oba's wife. But these days, people don't even know why they do things. So some people actually, the Oba, this new Oba, when he was inaugurated, he actually has spoken about that. And that there was supposed to be some particular style, even like this symbol of this golden thing they now put on top of it. You see this golden styles. I'll try and get a picture of it and put it somewhere in the on this video so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Even that is called. She told me that it's called Igoloye, and that is actually was only a symbol to a certain part or a certain family or clan, a clan in Yoruba in Benin Kingdom, who actually used to be, who are actually supposed to wear that igoloye on their bead when they wear their bead for these celebrations. But now everybody just started doing it, and one thing I found that what has really become so frustrating or annoying, people just pack it chaka so much on the hair. I don't know if many people have noticed it. Even the bead is actually take the beauty away from the bead. I just feel we Nigerians really have to be mindful. More is not always the better. Neither is the most expensive always the better. It's always the better thing. Because I think sometimes Nigerians, we tend to fly away with this thing that, oh, I wore the most expensive lace, or I did something in the most expensive hall, or my wedding cost so millions. The success or the beauty of things shouldn't be quantified. Even the beads, some people just wear it and overload it and just to say that, oh, my wedding, or that event or whatever, that person who dressed them, the makeup artist, is the best because she just passed lots of beads on your neck and you can hardly move. Or the igoloye that is not even supposed to be part of it. I don't even know where that started. Some people just used to put a couple in, but now it just take over the whole hair. That the beads, you can't even notice the beads anymore. That was supposed to be beautifully done at the base of it. Anyway, don't let me rant too much about this, but I hope people get the gist. I just feel we really need to be mindful. So when we are doing some aspect of our cultural dressing or things, even like the Esan man that wear the Esan cloth, which is very beautiful. So it doesn't really have to be overdone. Even those days, the men never even used to wear cap. Now the man have to wear beaded cap. They have to have this beaded walking stick. All of that is really the makeup artist just trying to make themselves look, oh, I'm very good. I have all this stuff to add color to your wedding, and obviously everything you have to add to it, every dressing item have to cost extra money. So I'm not saying people shouldn't try and earn their bread, but obviously let's try and put things in the context. Let's actually understand why we wear the things we wear and why we do the things we wear. Let's try looking into our history. Let's not just say, oh, our ancestors, our forefathers, or those before us failed us, our history were not written down. Those of us that are growing up now, this is internet age. Let's start getting things right and know the reason why we do things. So that is that one. So I've already spoken about, now you kind of have understanding around the cultural context. Then I'm going to move on to the cost of the marriage itself. I spoke to a friend who is from Yoruba. She also kind of concurred with my experience because we both got married about 30 odd years ago. And she also said it used to be very simple in their time. And I mean, over there in Yoruba land as well, this ashebi that we all now do, that has now become everybody's is now wearing ashebi. It's actually a Yoruba thing. And that even in their time, they never used to do this one that, 10 people have to now wear ashebi and the groom have to now wear ashebi and all of that. I know it's colorful. If people really want to do it, they should know the reason they are doing it. I find it's putting so much pressure. People preparing for wedding is already stressful enough, especially when you have to do both traditional one or the church one or the mosque one or whatever. Maybe some people want to do the court one as a big one where they have this big flamboyant party. Then the traditional one again, you are making it so stressful. The bride and the groom have to make so many different clothes that they will have to now say, well, in my wedding, my traditional marriage or my church wedding, I changed 5 times, I changed 3 times. You know, and sometimes even you that is the celebrant, you hardly even enjoy the ceremony. You change, the next 30 minutes you are being called to go and change to something else again. And you spend more than half of the time you are supposed to be doing the celebration, you are changing. And sometimes even the groomsmen and the bridesmaid, and you now have the bridesmaid, you now have the ashebi girls, you now have the rest of it. Is just a bit too polarized now. It's getting too stressful. Even now, they have even taken it a step further now that they have to learn a special dance. I know it's colorful, but sometimes when I look at those, I'm just saying, after all this running around trying to prepare, you still have time to rehearse dance as well. You know, I'm not a killjoy, but I just want people to know why they do these things so that if you choose not to do them, you should be comfortable with it. Don't let people almost as if you are pressurized because it's not the norm. It doesn't have to be the norm. And we have to stop this culture of somebody trying to outdo the next person, or if that person put 2 igoloye on their bead, next time I want to put 10, so mine will be more beautiful. If the person changed 2 times in my wedding, I want to change 5 times so that they know that, oh, my one is, oh, you know how many times I change in my wedding? You know, all of these stresses is not going to make so much difference in the marriage life as well, actually, because the preparation for the marriage life should be more important than all this glamorous stuff. Honestly, I'm not saying, I know some of our young people enjoy this colorful stuff, they really like it. If you can afford it, especially those who are in diaspora, a lot of our young people, I've heard a lot of young people actually complain, to be honest with you. I heard a young person that I know very well, when it was his wedding, he didn't want any of the traditional wedding. He said because they are always being bullied into doing what they don't want to do. So they have to be convinced to say they will make it as small as possible. They don't have to change it to anything else if they don't want to, just to wear the things they come in for the first time. And some people actually said, oh, how they have been, so they have seen friends who have been told, oh, just turn up on the day, we'll do everything. But once they've agreed, the people just, family members just run away with it and start telling them, come and sew this, come and take that measurement, come and do this, come and do that. Before they know it, the stress they wanted to avoid was now getting too much on them, you know. So what am I trying to say? I'm just saying, let's keep things in context. More is not always better. The most expensive is not always the best. And let's try and understand what aspect of our culture is important, what aspect is not important. And obviously those in Nigeria as well, I know sometimes even those abroad, I overheard, I listened to a video, I think it was Franklin, he's a gentleman that talks a lot, that kind of focus on the things that happen and affect Nigeria. So somebody called in and said, a gentleman called in and said he lives in Canada, and somebody was telling him, oh, you say you have a fiancé that you want to marry in Nigeria. He said, yes. The person said, oh, what are you waiting for? He said, oh, we need about 10,000 Canadian dollars before he can go home and marry the wife, because without that, he cannot afford, he can't bring the wife over to Canada. The person said, oh, that means you will never get married then, you know. So some of all these things, we just really need to try and put things in context. Basically, that's what these young people are saying. So the jury is out now. Please, let's discuss in the comment section. What is the norm in the part of Nigeria you are from? There was something that was in the news recently of a senator in Imo State saying he has to raise a concern around how the high cost of bride price is responsible for their daughters not getting married. And I know that I don't really want to turn this to a political thing, but I know that from when even at my time, in my time, I know there's always been this common belief that the bride price in Igbo is always very high. So, but when I have some Igbo friends, when they do talk about it, they know that they always used to explain and say that actually it's not the actual bride price that's very expensive, but it's the other things that you have to buy. There's a long list of, you have to buy some for somebody, some of the community people, the family, extended family members. So there's a whole lot of things that you have to do, and there are different aspects of the ceremony. Somewhere they will say, oh, is the day the groom people are going to visit. It's the day there's a separate ceremony where the bride's people have to go and visit the groom people as well. That's the day they want to go and know where their daughter is going to go to. So there's so many different layers of it that now adds up that make it very expensive. So I'm not saying we have to disregard our culture, but what we really need to know, let's dig deep down and say, when all this culture started, when things were not, the focus was not so much on money. Let our fathers, the people who are grandfathers now, in their time, let them talk to us, even in the Igbo land, in Yoruba land, in Hausa land, in Esan land. Let's ask them, what was actually the cost of marriage then? Because then in the olden day, many of them were peasant farmers. How did they manage to marry then? So let us actually know exactly what is customary, what is relevant, and let's write all those things down in our history, rather than continue with this, moving the goalpost. Everybody, even in the community now, the list, people keep adding to the list or changing things as they go along, just because some people want to have a way to get some money or whatever. So in a nutshell, people, what do you think? Please, let's discuss this. Sean, the young people just want us to be honest with them and tell them what are the essentials and the non-essentials, especially because they are all intermarrying these days. So they need to know what they're actually doing and the history behind all of this in our various cultures. On that note, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And those of you who have and who have been supporting and leaving comments, I do appreciate you and your comments and your support. And also, please, let's dialogue on this topic. It's very important. And please leave comments in the comments section. And leave your notification bell on so that you'll be notified, because I still have a few more topics on this series. And also please share as they say. Please give this video a thumbs up. I'm sure you definitely like something in this video, even if it's just my head wrap they have done specially for this marriage topic. And on that note, I will say Wabulu, which is thank you in Esan, and Vakimbwe, which is goodbye in Esan. See you in my next video. Wabulu, Vakimbwe.